Welcome to Global Health and Wellness Practitioners YouTube channel, where we're giving exposure and connecting great practitioners while providing a platform for them to leave a message and a piece of their legacy on. Today we have Sousa with us. So exciting. I don't even know what to say. It's just exciting to have her here. I feel it in my heart. Her mission is healing the global village. And she has a Facebook page that you could join and be part of. She's a teacher and she owns Global Fire Walking Institute, but it's remote right now, the courses that she's doing with it for the times. And she's also a white Tantra massage therapist and teacher. So she's also doing that remotely. She's got a lifetime of experience and deep inner work. My first experience with her was at the coffee station at a women's gathering, and I was just getting coffee, and she turned around, and I just started to weep from all the healing energy that I could feel in her. It just was so powerful. So she also does lots of work with the dying, and if you want to start adding in some little bit about that.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you for having me here. I'm very honored, to be connecting to you always. And so I am an initiated elder in the medicine of the Dagara Malodoma Some in 2009. And what to say? So as far as the death and dying, I always have to go back to my story, which is my mother was the baby of 18, and from a very young age, the age of 8 for me, I was exposed, I'll say, to her bringing many of those siblings to our home to live sick and die. And so from age 8, I've been sitting in presence and silence, nourishing, nurturing the sick and then the dying, crossing over. My mother's very ritualistic, so we had many shrines, altars, and that collective community is definitely something it's the way of life. We didn't take our elders and put them in a nursing home. I mean, that's very foreign to me. It's like a mind blow, actually. If people were sick, we didn't put them in a hospital. We took them to our home, and if we miss work, oh well. If we miss school, so what? You just revolved yourself around caring for the sick and the dying. That's just how we did it. And then the universe just took care of us as a family for taking care of whoever. And that rings really true through for me, because my best friend, a very dear soul friend of mine, Estelle, she died in my arms Valentine's Day 1995. Now, she was a twin. She had 11 siblings and a mother and father, but she died in my home. Mm-hmm. And it's where she wanted to come. To live with me, for me to take care of her. And I was in college, actually. I was supposed to graduate in May. And I dropped out of college. Everybody around me is like, what are you doing? It's like, screw college. College has nothing. It's irrelevant. I mean, to this day, I don't know where the degree is. It doesn't matter. It was about being present. And, at the end of the day, Steph, it really just is about love and service. I just feel like I want to be loved. We all just want to feel that love, and then give the love to the people, give service to the people. And then later I became a grief counselor for people that lived in residential with AIDS. I was a case manager. I did that for 10 years. Today I don't do the Dagara grief rituals anymore. As you know, my wife passed in 2017. And, again, here I am with her father saying to me, you can't bring her home. She has to go in a nursing home. And I said, yeah, that's not happening. Mm-hmm. She comes home, and whatever we have to do, and she couldn't be left alone. So I had, around the clock care between me and, paid staff, whatever. It didn't matter. Everything would just work out. And she died in our home. And I had our funeral in our home. 3-day funeral procession. Around the clock, people came. 300 people. A fire that was 3 days long. Drums and tribes and elders came from all over the country. Maladoma came through and his message and several other elders. And then, I escorted her body and I also burned her body, following my soul contract with her. She knew that. That was my wish and that was her wish. That we would follow this life contract right down to the physical and bring it to the ashes. Was that an easy thing? No. But really, in those times, it wasn't about me. Right. Caring as a child for the sick and the dead, it wasn't about me. It's interesting. Yesterday was my mother's birthday. She would have been 80 as I crossed her over. I mean, talk about it, right? Teaching me how to do this, and then I would then be there to do it for her. Like, talk about a completion, right?
Yeah.
I just completed as I said, 11-day remote Tantra Astro healing licensed therapist course with someone under Tantra school. I can't say enough about the school. They're a spiritual university and all that they bring. And I also just launched the Global Firewalk Institute a week before that. So yeah, there's fire's moving.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good.
Yeah. One of the things that I love about you is how you recognize that healers are just as human as you and I, and we all are human. And we all have our healing gifts in our different areas. And so it doesn't take away those gifts.
No, absolutely not.
But never,
well, go ahead, finish. Yeah.
Never put someone up on a pedestal.
No, absolutely. That's one of the things Maladoma used to say. I won't repeat how he said it. I just blank love you, he would say. And I'm like, yeah, I love you too, my brother. And he goes, no. Like, I'm a king in my country, but you just like right here with me. It's like, well, I don't know. You put your pants on with 2 legs. I put my pants on with 2 legs. I mean, you have your gifts. I have my gifts. And this is the beauty about it is like, I'm not here to compete with anybody. I got my own competition within myself. I mean, it's not a competition. I'm wrestling out my impurities within me. I ain't got time for anything else in the sense of, I feel like let's lift each other up. Let's lift a brother, lift a sister up. And, when I teach my apprenticeships is an actual moment of an exercise where we're in circle and, we're in process and we're spinning and moving and tossing like we're in a dryer, tumbling, right? And then there's a moment where I'm like, okay, so Susie just won $1 million. Right now, how do you feel? Right now, how do you feel? Track it. And when you're really honest, it's amazing. There's like a constriction of, why didn't I win that? Well, I would have liked to win that. How did she do that? And it's like, that energy is, that's an old paradigm. It's gone. It's really gone. And I just live from a place, universally, the ancient mother of the universe has a supple supply of milk and honey. So there's enough for all of us. Yeah, there really is. And that's like my thing. It doesn't mean I don't have scarcity, lack, poverty-minded, vibration. Of course I do at times. It's like a gnat, though. I flick it and say, take a hike. Not residing here. Because that's, when we become more conscious of our breath, start there. Just like, where's my breath? And, not just here, or not just here. How about if you bring it down to your feet and then breathe through? This is what the firewalking does. And, let me just say, Global Firewalk Institute is not about firewalking. The week-long launch I just did, and those that come through to be initiated as gatekeepers to the anatomy of fire. It's so much more than firewalking. It's about in relationship. We all have a center right below the navel. It's your third chakra. We call it in the tantric tradition Manipura chakra, and that is our fire hearth. That's our center. That's what was connected there. Our umbilical cord, right? We call it the hada, right? So that was our life force pumping in. That was our prana from the mother, right? So this is what's connected to us and the sun. This gives us life, energy. And so when we can be breathing and in relationship to our chaotic, dysfunction, aggressive, consuming fire, this is, part of the ripple to 2020 has been going on for many, many years before we arrived in the global crisis we're in now, is we've been burning out of control because we don't talk about sex, we don't talk about death, and we don't talk about our own fire burning us up inside. And we're not in relationship because everything is relational to energy. Everything holds energy, and the relation starts with self. It starts here. And then when I can have a sense of this inner healing self, purification, bringing that own transmutation, transformation of my own internal fire, then I can sit down with you. We can sit down with community, and we can break bread, and we can share our gifts amongst spiritual entrepreneurs, healers, practitioners, and we can, kind of move our fire amongst each other. And then there's, healing the global village. But if we try to go global, community, self will burn up. And usually if we try that way of moving, it's really because we don't want to sit with self. So we'll do anything to avoid, my own purification, your own purification. And, that really brings me to, the laws of karma. And so, for me personally in my life since 2017 to, I would say, probably the end of 2019, I've had a nice, good inoculation, like a vaccine, but a different kind of vaccine of karma. But not in one moment, not my wife, not I, ever felt victim to her getting the flu that went into her brain. We just don't, we're not, it doesn't, what I say, and this is my truth. My mother came from the baby of 18 children. Many of them died from suicide, ODs, depressions, and addiction. Very, very heavy stuff. But that did not kill the people in my lineage. What killed the people in my lineage was that they bought that they were a victim. So they bought the victimology. And that just fed the impurities of the mind, the impurities of the heart, and the addiction. And it just kept it cyclically, the predator and the prey amongst ourselves. And I'm real clear. And I'll tell you, during my wife's sickness and my grief process, and 2 days before 1 year anniversary of her, I found breast cancer. Okay, so this is another piece of work, Ann. And of course, I took my breast cancer to India. I didn't let nobody do anything to me for 3 months until I did some soul purification. Because I really felt that the breast cancer was a sickness of grief. It was a sickness of my own spiritual karma. So, yeah. And, I'll tell you, people, healer practitioners, they, I got one friend, she's like, you're not so easy to be friends with. I'm like, really? I feel like I'm real loving. She goes, no, you're real loving, but you require us to do our work. And it's like, well, I don't have an expectation about people to do their work. What I'm clear about is don't come and sit with me to think you're going to do my work. Because
Or
I
that
have
you're
my
going to
work.
do my work.
Exactly. Or that I'm doing your work. No. Yeah. And that's it. It's like, let's just own whatever we got, whatever we have that's coming down from the cosmic energies of our karma. And I mean, I'm all about it. It's like, yes, please, ease and grace, touch me, dear God, with the touch of a feather to awaken me. I'm here to awaken the soul. That's what I know. I've known it from a young child. I fought many system structures, paradigms that honestly were bull. I never bought it. I didn't believe in it. So I was a complex kid because I would be fighting and, debating these systems that were just, you know, now we see what 2020 is. This is all it's all like a reset. But
Yeah.
for me, 2020 has been my whole life in a sense.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But now the whole world, in a sense, and I don't mean that any disrespect to anything that's come about for anybody, because I know people that have had loss of lives, and it's huge. But it's also a global, to have the entire world shut down, impacted, isolation, economy, huge. And for me, because I am a tantrika, I'm going to maximize that energy, because in the tantric mindset, energy is not good or bad. It's not right or wrong. It's just energy. So what are you going to do to fuel and surf that energy for your higher optimum conscious self? It's interesting. When my master teacher in India opened up the course, there was 40 of us with Somananda Tantra School, and we all did a check-in. And I just looked at him and I said, thank you so much. Total respect and honor for you to bring this to the planet right now. And I said, and I had emotions come down, and I could just feel my soul weep. And I said, since I came out of my mother's womb, I knew this energy was on the planet. And I've been searching and searching and searching. And so, I'm a physical tantra massage therapist, teacher, yoga instructor. And I can say for the Samananda Tantra School and the movement as a spiritual university, which I just love, is the times are in. We're in a world crisis, right? So it's like, okay, do we stop being spiritual? Do we stop evolving our soul because somebody said we got to put a mask on and you can't see me smile? Which if I say, Steph, smile. Right? You know what just happened? You had synapses, neurons, you had firing going on. So when we can smile, it actually becomes contagious. And scientifically, it's been linked to what happens with serotonin and different oxytocin that spins off on the brain to actually shift from sadness or depression. And it's fascinating because now we're masked. I can't see you smile. Right?
Mm.
Let's just look at it from Tantra. I mean, a massage therapist, as you know, the largest organ is our skin. Well, the largest organ of our skin is directly connected to what we call anahata, the heart chakra. Well, now I can't massage you, so we're not stimulating this. And what's the byproduct of this in the out of alignment is, okay, we got covert, it's in the lungs. This is a heart. This is like, for me, this is a global karma about we need to awaken to the pure love. And I'll say this, not from a religious, but if you look at the life of Jesus, and I'm not a religious fanatic by any means, because I have Buddha and many other gods, but if you just look at the simple life of Jesus, he was probably one of the most purest healers among the planet with his capacity to love. Um, so there's something quite to it, right? Well, now it's like, okay, I'm not stopping because I can't touch you. I can't, massage you, and touch you meaning massage you physically. So it's like, okay, what are we going to do? Well, now we're going to bring it to you remote. Is, if you are feeling that disconnection, the heaviness, look down and find your feet. First and foremost, you have all your organs, your whole meridian system is on the soles of your feet. So take your feet out and walk the grass, sit under a tree, go out to nature, and just come home. Follow it through like an arrow, and then walk each step of the way to where you're going. And let's rise each other up with your gifts and your gifts and your gifts, and see the plethora of talent we have here.
Awesome. So thank you, Anne, for sharing everything with us openly. I know everybody got something from this, even if it's just to find your feet.
Exactly. Find your feet and find your breath.
Yeah.
And connect those two.
Hopefully we'll be hearing from Anne more and getting into more juicy stuff.
Yes, we have a lot of juicy stuff here, and I want to thank you so much for doing the work that you do in the world. I see you, my sister. I honor you, truly.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you.
Blessings.